Alex Thompson had never been the type to turn down a request from his boss. At 34, he was used to fixing things: leaky faucets, broken elevators, flickering office lights, and the quiet ache in his daughter's eyes when she asked why mommy never came back. His days were long shifts at Apex Innovations, a sleek tech firm downtown, where he kept the building running so the executives could change the world from their glass offices. Elena Voss was the CEO, 31, brilliant, and untouchable. Dark hair always in a perfect chignon, sharp suits, sharper decisions. She ran the company like a symphony conductor, precise, demanding, inspiring fear and quiet admiration in equal measure. Alex had seen her maybe 10 times in 3 years, always from a distance, her striding through the lobby, phone to ear, or nodding approval during quarterly meetings he attended from the back row. So when his phone buzzed at 6:15 p.m. with her name, Elena Voss, he nearly dropped it. "Alex, I need a favor. It's personal. Can you come to my house? 1427 Harbor View Drive. As soon as possible. Please." No explanation. No context. His first thought was a home emergency, maybe the smart home system glitched, or the backup generator failed. He was the on-call guy for building issues, even off hours. He texted back, "On my way. Everything okay?" Her reply was instant, "Just get here. Thank you." He called his neighbor, Mrs. Ramirez, who babysat Lily for extra cash. "Emergency at work," he explained, hating how vague it sounded. Lily hugged his leg. "Will you be back for story time, Daddy?" "Promise, Peanut. I'll read 2 chapters if I'm late." He arrived at the upscale gated community 20 minutes later, feeling out of place in his faded work jacket and jeans. The house was modern, all clean lines and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the bay. Elena opened the door before he could knock. She looked different. No power suit. A soft emerald dress hugged her figure, hair loose around her shoulders. Makeup subtle, but her eyes were bright, nervous. "Alex," she said, voice low. "Thank God you're here. Come in." He stepped inside, smelling garlic, rosemary, fresh bread. The dining table was set for 4, candles flickering. Soft jazz played from hidden speakers. "What's going on?" he asked, confusion mounting. "Is there a problem with the—" "No problem," she interrupted, closing the door. "My parents are here. From out of town. They've been pushing. About my life. My lack of commitment. They think I'm married to the company." She took a breath. "I told them I had a boyfriend. A serious one. And tonight." I panicked. "I said he'd be here for dinner." Alex stared. "You told them about a boyfriend who doesn't exist." "Not doesn't exist," she said quietly. "I just needed someone real. Someone kind. Someone who wouldn't make this worse." She met his eyes. "You're the most genuine person I know at work. You always say hello to everyone, even the interns. You fixed the coffee machine last month without being asked. You talk about your daughter like she's the sun." He felt heat rise in his face. "Elena, I can't, I'm not." "Please," she whispered. "Just for tonight. Pretend. Eat dinner, smile, talk about normal things. They leave tomorrow. I'll make it up to you, bonus, time off, whatever. I can't face another lecture about being alone forever." Before he could answer, voices came from the living room, older, warm, expectant. "Elena. Is that him?" She grabbed his hand, warm, steady, and pulled him forward. "Yes, Mom. This is Alex. My boyfriend." Her parents turned. Mr. Voss, silver-haired, retired surgeon, sized him up with polite curiosity. Mrs. Voss, elegant in pearls, smiled wide. "Oh, honey, he's handsome. Come here, Alex. We've heard so much about you." Alex's mouth went dry. He glanced at Elena. She squeezed his hand once, "Thank you," then let go. Dinner began. He sat beside her, heart hammering. They asked questions. "How did you meet?" "At work," she said smoothly. "What do you do?" Building operations, he answered honestly. Do you have children? A daughter, Lily. 6. Loves drawing and dinosaurs. Mrs. Voss's eyes softened. A single dad. That's wonderful. Elena never mentioned. Elena jumped in. I wanted to be sure first. He's special. Alex felt the lie settle like lead in his chest. But as the evening wore on, something shifted. He talked about Lily's latest obsession, building forts out of couch cushions, and Elena listened like it mattered. When Mrs. Voss asked about his late wife, he spoke quietly, without bitterness. Elena's hand found his under the table, a silent anchor. By dessert, her parents were laughing at his stories, charmed. Mr. Voss clapped him on the shoulder. You take care of our girl, son. She works too hard. As they said good night, Elena walked her parents to the guest wing. When she returned to the kitchen, where Alex was stacking plates to keep his hands busy, she looked exhausted but relieved. Thank you, she said. You saved me tonight. He set down a dish. I don't like lying, Elena. Especially to parents. I know. She leaned against the counter. But it felt real. Parts of it. He looked at her, really looked. The CEO armor was gone. Just a woman, tired, hopeful. I should go, he said. Lily's waiting. She nodded. Of course. But Alex, could we talk? Tomorrow? Not as boss and employee. Just us. He hesitated. Then, softly, maybe. He left with her number programmed in, not for work, and the strange feeling that he'd just stepped into something bigger than a favor. The next morning, Alex woke to Lily climbing onto his bed, waving a drawing of a dinosaur in a suit. For your girlfriend, Daddy. The pretty lady. He laughed despite himself. Word had spread, Mrs. Ramirez had seen Elena's car drop him off last night. Small apartment building, big gossip. At work, he avoided the executive floor. But at noon, his phone buzzed. Elena, lunch. My office. No parents this time. He went. She closed the door, no suit today, jeans, sweater. Human. I told them the truth this morning, she said immediately. Over breakfast. That you weren't my boyfriend. That I tricked you into helping because I was scared. He exhaled. How'd they take it? Better than I expected. Mom cried a little, said she just wants me happy. Dad, he asked if you were really as nice as you seemed. She smiled faintly. I said yes. Alex sat. Why me, Elena? Really? She looked down. Because I've watched you for years. You come in early, leave late if needed, but never complain. You smile at people who don't even notice you. Last year, when the layoffs hit, you brought coffee for the team staying late to pack boxes. You didn't have to. But you did. He shrugged. Just being decent. That's rare, she said. In my world, everyone's calculating. I built this company from nothing, but I forgot how to let people in. I date apps, power couples, it's exhausting. Then I saw you with Lily one day. You were in the lobby, she ran to you after daycare drop-off. You picked her up, spun her around, you looked so happy. I envied that. Silence stretched. I don't want fake anymore, she continued. I want real. If you're willing. I'd like to try. Coffee first. No tricks. Just seeing where it goes. Alex thought of Lily's drawing. Of lonely nights after bedtime stories. Of how Elena's hand under the table had felt like a promise, not a performance. I'm scared too, he admitted. I'm just a guy with a kid and a toolbox. You're you. She stepped closer. I'm just Elena. Who wants to know you? And maybe meet the dinosaur artist. He smiled, small, real. Lily would like that. They started slow. Coffee turned to dinners, Lily included sometimes. Elena came to a school play, clapped loudest. Alex fixed her home office lights one weekend, stayed for movie night. Her parents visited again months later, not tricked this time, and hugged him like family.